Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to talk about increasing your virtual visibility in the professional world. This means two opportunities. One is to see things, and the second is to be seen. So see and be seen is the hashtag that I use and discuss about how you increase your visibility in our virtual world these days. What you see on the screen at the right is the Google search of my name. It's one of the things I recommend to everyone I work with, just to be sure you understand how you're being seen in the Google search, meaning things that are totally searchable by Google. How does LinkedIn show? Does your Twitter feed come up? Do any of your articles come up? But also to give people an awareness of what it means to search on your name. Do you have a common name? I didn't think mine was common until I found out there's another Susan Griffey, and she publishes on very esoteric biophysiologic papers. So understand how you're seen in the virtual worlds. But let's just take a step back and remember that in the before days, we did most of our being seen and seeing in lunchtime meetings, whether they were within our company or local gatherings, sometimes in huge conferences that we had an opportunity to do and go to, where most of our interactions happened, and occasionally over the phone. In these times, we've actually come up with more and more ways to see and be seen, even though it doesn't always feel like it. In the top left is a webinar that was being presented with a chat box, so you could exchange, network with people on that. Bottom left, watching seminar being presented by some people I knew, a pitch that people were doing. On the right are even audio options. Podcasts have been around for quite a long time, like you see at the top right. And the bottom right is an example of things that have come up in the last couple of years. Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces, and now LinkedIn Audio has joined as well. So a lot of ways to interact that are still available to us and that allow us to see things, meaning hear things, see things, and be seen. There's also some of the more traditional. On the bottom right, a Twitter tweet that I put up there. On the top left is a LinkedIn article, which is a way to increase your visibility through LinkedIn. We'll be talking about these as we go along. So see and be seen starts here. Starts with your professional profile. On the left is my LinkedIn profile. On the right is what my Twitter profile is. And then here we are at LinkedIn. This is where it begins. Now, why LinkedIn? Just briefly, because this information is everywhere. LinkedIn is the professional platform. It's increased beyond just being a place to put your CV or resume, outline your profile. It's really for engagement. It's for networking. It's for coordinating and collaborating, or what some of the experts I follow call co-opetition. And it's also for a variety of resources they have available, including a blogging platform, which is where the LinkedIn article came from. So let's start with what LinkedIn isn't. It's not a dating website, but there are still problems occasionally on LinkedIn with someone reaching out to me wanting to connect, and I can tell he's 20 years younger, and then I get a hello dear message. Doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. A site for heated topic discussions, I don't recall seeing anything like I may see on Twitter or on Facebook for sure. It's definitely not a shop and buy platform, although there are experts who are putting products out there that help you advance your career and your LinkedIn engagement that you may want to buy. But it's not a place you go looking to spend money on products necessarily. Here's what it is. I said it's the professional platform. It's the place to be seen for all these reasons and even more. You've come to the step where you need to increase your visibility. Here's how we're going to do it. I recently worked with some students who were taking the course that I'm teaching, and here's their ratings of their own LinkedIn profiles. No one said they didn't have a LinkedIn profile, which is great in my books. Many people thought they had a basic profile. most people thought that was good enough, and a few people even thought it was strong, which is a great place to start from. And you'll see that I address opportunities to increase your visibility that address each of these categories. Let's go over briefly what belongs in your LinkedIn profile. There are many experts out there on LinkedIn about LinkedIn who can tell you even more than this. But over time, I've looked at what are the most important things. I've learned from these experts about what you need to do. But I've never seen, if you're new to LinkedIn, do these things. If you're an occasional user, like a lot of my very busy mentees, do this. If you're a regular engager, here's the things to address. So that's what I put together. Down the left-hand side are some key sections that we'll go through in your LinkedIn profile. And then the areas that I feel are really important that need to be emphasized. And I've used capital letters and small letters to designate whether it's something really important to do or whether it's a nice to do when you have time. Color-coded them, and we'll go through them one by one just very briefly. The introduction box is what LinkedIn calls this box that comes up, and this is the first screen people see of you. And it has your name, it may have your education, it may have your present work. It has a click to get to your contact information if you're a first level connection. Has your picture. It now has things like a cover story and a whole lot else that you can do. So first thing you want to do is make your URL professional. If you have letters and numbers after some version of your name, like I show in italics on the right, there's a very easy recipe for editing that, and you'll see it circled right there. It's in your public profile settings. Always check your contact information and update it. If you change your email, change a phone number, change your website, make sure that you've updated it. It's important to have a headshot. I know that it's becoming more fashionable now to have more casual photos with crossed arms and people taken from the waist up. But when you look at those on a little tiny mobile screen with a mobile thumbnail, that headshot needs to be a headshot from collarbones up. So when you edit a photo on LinkedIn, you'll see this guide. It's a 3x3 square with grid lines, and you want your eyes right at the top of the middle square. So this is here to show you that this is how you can do it. Other people will have theirs offset or maybe down at the bottom, more artistic. That's up to you. But generally looking forward, smile, approachable, no one else in the photo, that's what you want to concentrate on. And by the way, if you crop your photo, make sure once you upload it, you've checked to make sure it's not too blurry, because that will signal to people that you're not being careful. LinkedIn now allows you to write your own headline instead of putting your default job in place underneath your name. You want to take advantage of that. The first 80 characters or so follows you everywhere you go, meaning it will be a reference when you post or comment or engage with people. So think about it as advertising what you do and maybe what your achievements are. They now have a facility to record your name. It's 10 seconds long. Aim for 9 seconds. And here's the thing. It's not just your name pronunciation, even if it seems to be easy. It helps them hear your voice. It helps us normalize that everybody has name pronunciations. And if you practice at it, you can even get a little tagline in. So go ahead and find my profile and listen to my name recording and see what you think. A lot of people I connect with are good at having a headshot and even a headline, but their banner photo, LinkedIn calls it the background photo, but it's this rectangle behind your head, is a place an expert mentioned, this is free real estate, advertise what you want to advertise. And you'll see all sorts of people selling their books, selling their products, talking about what they do. You do not need your name in there. It goes right behind your headshot, which is above your name. But you can easily make your own. I did it in PowerPoint. Other people are doing it in Canva. A little more advanced, but something new and still fun to work with is what they call a cover story. It's 30 seconds long, so aim for 29 seconds because it will cut you off. If you record it on an iPhone, there's an app called Clips that will insert the captions for you automatically, but it's handheld, so you have to deal with that. But the orange circle around my face, when you go to my profile, it'll flash to the video briefly, and then you can click on my profile picture and it will launch. And that lets you market yourself. It lets you describe your professional expertise. It lets you promote the things that you're known for or that you are aiming for and what you have evidence-based results for. So try it out. It took me probably 20 tries to get in something even just good enough, which is what I'm aiming for these days. The next section is the About section. This used to be called Summary. There's a lot of advice out there, and I always tell you, take advice and decide what works for you. The big LinkedIn experts that I follow, most work with people in the US, even in a global world, and even people who may actually reside in other countries. They tell you write it in the first person, be full of personality, and then add your sales, and then add a call to action. My goal is that you take your your summary paragraph from your CV and your resume, put it in here and get it done. Many people in the global world still are used to reading paragraphs, descriptions of ourselves, having them in the third person. So just get it done. Do put your email in here, because if people are not a first level connection to you, they cannot see your contact information in the introduction box. Put in other interesting things. I put in my blog website. I put in a few other things on Clubhouse and Twitter so that people can see that. I haven't taken it to the call to action and marketing and sales or even promotion. But remember that when they see the About section, they're going to see the first 3 to 4 lines, and you just want to get them to click more and learn more about you. LinkedIn added a feature section a while ago, and this allows you to show up to 6 documents, media of any kind, a whole, as you'll see on the bottom right, a whole variety of documentation. And for those of us in knowledge work, and many of us are knowledge workers, what we produce are results that are captured in products like reports, blogs, Twitter feeds, other kinds of materials, videos, and audio even. So choose this to feature, but do not put your resume in here. Don't give people your resume if you're looking for a job. They have a lot of information in your LinkedIn profile. Make them come to you. That's one of my tips for you. The next section is experience, and this is something there's a lot of information about if you're job seeking, how to look like you have a job. I'll let you find that information in the LinkedIn experts list I have. I discovered when I went to this a couple days ago to prepare for this video, I had not done a description of my long-running Sue Mentors, founded Sue Mentors. So I thought, I can't present this to you all if I don't write something. So I did actually finally write it. You want to write a description for at least your last 2 jobs or the last 5 years of work. Why? Because the more that you've got words that have keyword phrases that talk about the kinds of skills and experience you apply, the products you've delivered, the results you've achieved, the better off you're able to be found, whether it's for networking, job seeking, or information building. LinkedIn puts together a skills list, and they put things in the order that they find them. Skills can be endorsed, so it's basically clicking a checkbox to say, yes, I endorse Sue for public health. You notice that I have mentoring there. I didn't realize till a year or so ago that I hadn't even put mentoring in there because I don't look at my skills list a lot. So I moved it up. I still only have 10 people that have endorsed me for that. Feel free to go ahead if you want to practice. You can give me an endorsement. But the point is that you have 50 skills that you can fill in, and you don't have to leave the ones LinkedIn put in there, but you do want to write a skill that someone who knows you and has worked with you will recognize and endorse you for. And I have a separate video you can look for on how to use endorsing to connect with people. The final section I'm going to go over today is publications. This is what LinkedIn calls it. And when you open the box, it looks like a lot of fields for a journal article, a scientific refereed journal article. I use this box, and everybody else does, for a variety of media that I want to make available. So you're not uploading the media, but you're putting in the title, a URL if there is one, authors, if there are other authors, you can connect with them. That's what those round circles are. And also then you can put in an abstract or a description of it. So people who are looking for you and at you are saying, oh, Sue wrote reports. I could also, and I should do this to show the next time I record this video, I can put in some of the training materials I've developed. I can put in some of the mentoring webinars that I've developed. So you can use this for a variety of your own intellectual property products, and people will be able to find it right away. The overall goal of visibility is to use your visibility just like I tell you when you're writing. Write once, use often, disseminate everywhere. You want to be consistent everywhere, and in this case, same is good. Same contact information, photos, descriptions on every website. So my Twitter description is very similar to my description in LinkedIn. Keep your contact information updated for sure. You never know when someone's going to call you. And if you don't, for example, want to put your mobile phone number, get a Google Voice number or other number that goes to a message center that you can leave on LinkedIn, because I'm noticing more and more contacts are wanting to message me either through the LinkedIn messaging platform or my mobile number. And don't forget about things that we take for granted. An email signature block in your email is one of the first ways people might see you, and certainly is a place to give all your information. Don't make the mistake I had with a mentee who said to me when I couldn't find his email address, I didn't put it in my signature block because I used it in my email. But what happens if that person blocks and copies your information to send on to someone else to try to contact you for an interesting job? Your email's not in there. So don't make me do your work for you. So let's talk about the other side of see and be seen. This is engaging and using your virtual platform, primarily LinkedIn. And this is the part of giving value to get value, so that you don't have to worry about, I need a job, is there anybody that I know that I can talk to immediately? You're already out there on LinkedIn, Twitter, and other spaces providing value that will eventually come back to you when you need it or ask for it. So I'm going to tell you about what I think is a reasonable amount of time for busy people like you and your colleagues and friends to spend on LinkedIn. If you can manage 5 minutes 2 to 3 times a week, you can get a lot done scrolling through your feed. Easiest thing to do is pick one of the reaction buttons. In fact, you can click the like symbol, the thumbs up, without even opening the reaction buttons. Next easiest in the 5 minutes, comment on something that someone posted. Write a comment, make sure it has at least 5 to 8 words, because LinkedIn values and actually promotes you to the algorithm, promotes you more if you have a comment. Don't just put great or congratulations. Also powerful is sharing what someone else posted and writing a comment there, as I did with Karen North's announcement of her Ask Me Anything webinar that she was going to do. Only took me a couple minutes to share. There's a button on LinkedIn for this, and I just typed a little bit. If you have more time, actually write your own post, originate your post, which LinkedIn's algorithm gives you a lot of points for. And if you have a lot of time, and I say a lot of time because it takes time to do this, LinkedIn has a blogging platform, which you'll notice at the top I've circled. LinkedIn Pulse is what it used to be called. And you'll often see that when you look at articles that it will be on the Pulse platform. And it looks like a blogging platform, so just be warned. Write it in Word, whatever article you want, and then cut and paste it into the blogging platform. And then you'll be able to promote it. It's a great networking tool. So soon you'll see a webinar on networking and seminal networking that will use this. Here are some of my top LinkedIn experts. I have a longer list, but these are people I consistently go to, I follow, they put up good content all the time, and they have reasonable suggestions for the world in which we're living, especially nowadays. Some of them are more US focused, so put your global lens on about the advice that you're hearing. Like I said, one of them was on, a lot of these people recommend writing in the first person in your about section. Totally up to you. And to summarize, key points. You're going to see and be seen on LinkedIn, Twitter, other virtual spaces, and you're going to give value to get value. With LinkedIn, once you update your profile and make it complete, all the sections, it doesn't take much time to keep it updated. Remember my comment about consistency. Be consistent everywhere in both content and descriptive information. And engagement, whether it's on LinkedIn or you're writing a little bit about yourself and putting your LinkedIn URL in a chat box on a webinar, a little bit of engagement will go a long way. Make it a regular habit. I'm just wanting to give some photo sources credits here for the people that I find on Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay, my big sites that I go to. And as always, happy to have you stop by, connect with me if we're not connected already, and contact me if you have ideas for other webinars you'd like to hear.